Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. The part I'm having trouble with in this story is how Karen and OP are on one side of the deli counter and employee is on the other, where employees usually are. Why TF did Karen think OP wasn't a customer? Are these people on hallucinogens? Now all I can think about is ham and SUES. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Lady at the deli couldn't handle my rudeness. Today's my day off and I've been craving a good ham and SUES sandwich for the better part of a week. So after waking up at noon and leaving within 10 minutes, I was out the door in my sweatpants and t-shirt, off to the store to get some meats and breads. It being Tuesday where I am, around noon isn't the busiest time of day for my local Kroger. Ralph's in California, Super X in Florida. So I was the only person in line at the deli when annoying, confused Karen showed up. She walked up to me and as follows occurred. Karen, I'd like a pound of Colby Jack, the Kroger brand. Me, says nothing because I thought she might have been on the phone. Karen, sir, nudges me with her cart. I said I'd like a pound of Colby Jack. Me, oh, cool. I got baby SUES. Karen, aren't you going to get my things for me? I'm a customer. Me, just now understanding what was happening. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't work here. I'm getting stuff from the deli as well. The pick a number isn't correct right now, though, but you are after me. At this point, she went from kind of rude to straight up annoyingly mean. She started smacking her hand on the glass cabinet where the meats are held and yelled at the lady slicing my cheese that I should be fired for lying to a customer about not working there while he's in uniform, and also threw in a deli workers shouldn't have long hair or beards for maximum bonus damage. Last I checked, mouse rat t-shirt, sweatpants, and chucks aren't Kroger uniform. Employee, ma'am, he doesn't work here. I'll be happy to help you in a moment. Karen couldn't contain herself any longer and stormed off out of the sight. I just apologized to the deli worker, got my ham and SUES, grabbed some fresh bread, and made my way towards the registers. When I got there, I could see Karen yelling furiously at a manager about how rude the deli employees were and how she would be shopping at Meijer from now on. Them's the breaks, Karen. I hope Deli Girl doesn't get in any trouble. I know this is pretty mid as far as the rest of the posts in this sub, but it made my morning/afternoon interesting. My sandwich was excellent, in case you were wondering. Next time I'll use a darker lettuce and use crunchier pickles. Edit. I should have stood up for the girl at the deli. I feel bad about not doing so. I've used the store's compliment/complaint site to praise the poor girl, and I'll be going to the store tomorrow to hopefully speak to the same manager that was there yesterday to set the record straight. Edit 2. Last edit, I swear. I went to that Kroger and I spoke with not only the manager from yesterday, but also the girl who was at the deli. Everything's fine. The manager told me that Karen was regularly trying to cause problems for employees and that most of the time they ignore her complaints and give her a coupon. The deli girl understood my sandwich dreams and said it was no big deal. I also picked up a muffin while I was there. And our second story. Let it go! I live in a small one-room apartment by myself. It's small, but close to my university and close to the town center. Perfect for a student. My apartment's on the ground floor, and over me are 3 more apartments. I don't know the people living there because I'm kind of a loner and tend to stay by myself and I don't go out much. So maybe the attendance directly over me changes? I don't know, but from one day to another, it got loud every evening. And I don't mean like loud walking or TV noises. No, I could hear them talking, more like shouting and listening to music all night. It sounded like a never-ending party up there. Normally, I'm not that easy triggered by noises. I have a good sleep and am good at ignoring other people. But it went on for hours every night. And it was not just the weekend, but on work days too. So I knew they did not just have a birthday party. I didn't care much about it on the weekends because I'm night active and stay awake until early in the morning anyway. But on work days, I need to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to the university. So I needed them to shut up. I might hate talking with strange people, but after a week with almost no sleep, I had enough. I walked up to their door and asked them very politely to tune it down a little in the night, and they promised and apologized about the disturbance they caused. Everything solved, right? Hell no. 10 p.m. came and went, and the music and the loud talking was still going on. I had a massive headache at that moment and had no nerves to get back up to them to tell them to shut the F up. I just went to bed, put my earphones in, and listened to some nice ASMR. Don't judge. The same spiel repeated itself over the week. I went 3 more times up and told them to be quiet, even though about calling the police, but did not want to deal with angry neighbors for the rest of my time in this place, so I thought about a more subtle way to get them to stop. You need to know I'm a professional soprano singer. I don't make money with it, but I have 7 years of classic opera singing training. That means I can sing very loud, very high, and for hours without getting tired. I also have a slight addiction to Disney songs, and I love to sing them. Normally, I do that quietly because I'm a decent human being and am considerate of my neighbors, but some people needed to learn a lesson. At the next weekend, my alarm clock has woken me at 6 a.m. I was tired and grumpy because someone did party the whole night and disturbed my sleep, but after a nice hot tea, I felt good enough to start my evil plan. I put on my fave playlist on Disney karaoke songs. I know all the lyrics by heart, so I started to sing very loud while standing in the small kitchen. The kitchen has a vent that goes through the whole house and connects all apartments together, and I can tell you that sound travels quite well through that vent. I don't know how long I sang that day, but it might have been around 5 hours. At a point, I went from Disney songs, you can just sing Let It Go for so much time until getting insane, to classic Italian opera, and then to some nice rock songs. Nightwish, Evanescence, In This Moment. At the end of the day, my voice gave up on me, but the magic had happened. It was silence in the house, no music, no loud talking or screaming, and the next day also no noise. The party was over for them. Funny how these inconsiderate jerks immediately quiet down when it's their turn not to be able to get any sleep. And our next story. I want to handpick 60 cupcakes. This happened 3 weeks back now. I recently started a job at a bakery where we have $1 cupcakes on Tuesdays. Now, people will order them ahead of time, having us set them aside and bag them. They have a pickup time and name. All is good, not everyone knows about this, but hey, they're $1, so they do it next time. As you can imagine, everyone comes in and gets dozens. This day, though, was a day. At the time, we had about 10 people in our small storefront. There are usually 3 of us to help customers, so we do our best. I call to help whoever's next, and a woman and her daughter walk up. The woman starts telling me her life story, but today they're at our bakery to buy 60 cupcakes for a baby shower on the weekend. Okay, no problem. Did you want to get 5 flavors, a dozen each? She struggled with this idea for a bit, but finally agreed. This is where it turns. She tells me she wants the prettiest cupcake since it's for a shower. Okay, the best decorated ones can do. She picks cookies and cream, and I start to fill a dozen. She stops me and asks me to pull the tray out of the case and let her individually choose each cupcake for each dozen. Her daughter gets embarrassed instantly. I kind of stared at her for a second till she asked again, as if there weren't 7 people behind her wanting cupcakes as well. So there I am, forced to pull the tray out while she picks 12 cupcakes from throughout the whole tray. People around her are kind of staring, and her daughter had tried to say something, but she ignored it. It took 15 minutes to get them all. It was insane. My coworker helped her check out, and he kind of bluntly told her that she needs to order next time, especially if it's for such an important event like a shower. Don't be so sucky and cheap, especially if it's for an event. Edit. Something I'd forgotten about this interaction till the morning was she asked me to get 30 of the leaf rings we had on the funfetti rings because they were so cute, and they all had to match. We didn't charge her for them either. Wow, some people just have no self-awareness. It's like the world revolves around them for their pleasure. And our last story. My grandpa's revenge. About 15 or more years ago, my grandparents retired and moved to a gated community a couple of blocks from a decent-sized lake. Their house was near Lake Athens, Texas. My grandpa absolutely loves to get out of the house and fish, so retiring close to a lake was an absolute godsend for him. I remember going out on the lake and fishing with him multiple times growing up. He had a tracker boat that he would tow with his old 80s Chevy truck. Now, just so you know, this wasn't his daily driver. He used it strictly for towing his boat. When not in use, he would park it in a little alcove a few feet away from his driveway, surrounded by trees. Appearance-wise, this truck was not beautiful and had definitely seen better days, but it was still more than capable of taking his boat to and from the lake with no problems at all. Fast forward a few months and he receives a letter from his next-door neighbor. It turns out they hate seeing his old truck, despite it being pretty well covered by trees, and believe it ruins their enjoyment of looking outside their house. In the letter, they've stated that they have contacted the HOA multiple times with the goal of either fining him until he sells his truck or removes it completely from their view. My grandpa was pissed. He called his HOA to discuss the letter, and it turns out the HOA has shut down all of the neighbors' complaints, but they're persistent and keep sending more. Now, here comes the revenge. My grandpa then asked if there would be any repercussions from chopping down a few trees on his property, the trees that so kept his Chevy moderately hidden from his pesky neighbors' peeping eyes. He gets the all clear and begins chopping away. His old beat-up Chevy that was once covered ever so carefully by the trees was now displayed bare in its entirety for the whole world to see. Needless to say, the Grinches next door were not happy to see his truck uncensored. From what I remember, they tried to complain again before deciding to move away. You must have a pretty pathetic life if the sight of someone's old truck is enough to make you pack up and leave. Truck you, bad neighbors. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.